Anthony Joshua is not in the gladiator's garden. He is not smelling the flowers. He is smelling blood. He says his nostrils are thick with the fresh blood of Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois has been there all week and up there tonight without his trainer. Yes, we're being told Don Charles has just got a bit of flu. Sun Sport believes there's more to it than that, and he's only going to be around his man when the bell goes and for those minute intervals between each round, however many we see. It's got to play a pivotal role in how things work out tonight. Don't forget, this is the Anthony Joshua who had a decade-long mentorship from Rob McCracken and then completely lost his way for a few years. Not having Don Charles around is going to play a pivotal role on Saturday night. Don't forget, Anthony Joshua had Sean Murphy, his ABC Finchley trainer, first of all, the man who saved him from a life of crime. Then he had Rob McCracken for 10 years, taking him to the Olympics and taking him to World Championship. Then he fell into the wilderness, like Lennox Lewis told Sun Sport this week. He's back now with Ben Davison, having lost a couple of years, and he's on fire, knocking people's spark out. Don Charles is the man who's done well with Daniel Dubois. He did all right against Usyk, then he's had 2 big wins. But in those big wins, he's gone to the corner, he's looked for Don, and Don's been helpful. Right now, it looks like everything that Daniel Dubois has been building for is going to hinge on having his dad in his corner. We hope it's wrong. We want to see Dan Charles. We want to see 2 men fighting, but we want to see 2 fair corners. Because right now, it looks like Anthony Joshua is taking on an army as a man on his own. Daniel Dubois didn't say too much up there. That doesn't surprise us. He says he just wants to fight. He doesn't want to talk. All the talking's done. It's time to fight. AJ took his last opportunity to get a last few more threats in. He smells blood. He's not ready to retire. And he wants fans to go home and pray that he becomes a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. From what we've seen, from what we've heard, no matter how big Daniel Dubois has looked, no matter how funny and uncharacteristically cool his interviews were at the start, up there right now, it looks like big, bad, dangerous 34-year-old Anthony Joshua against Daniel Dubois. The kid we all got behind, the kid we're so happy he's back in the big time, but the boy who is taking on a man who's just too big and bad. When you take it all into account, all the build-up starting in June, when AJ threatened to smash a chair over his face, and even then Daniel stood up, to fight week right now, where poor Dan is walking around looking like a bit of a lost and lonely figure without Don Charles in his corner, it all points to Anthony Joshua being too experienced, too seasoned, too strong, too big, too powerful, too skillful, too technical. And Daniel Dubois, for all us British fans who are so happy that he's bounced back from the Joe Joyce defeat and the Usyk defeat and has really come into his own and become a man in this fight, he does look like the boy going in against the man. And most of the big-time boxing people we spoke to, world-class trainers, world-class fighters, champions, prospects, and even fans, all seem to be leaning towards big Anthony Joshua becoming a 3-time heavyweight world champion.
Yeah, 100%. It's a massive event. On TNT Sports Box Office, Sky Sports Box Office, and on pay-per-view.com. AJ, going towards the AJ, first couple rounds, but Daniel the weigh-in
process started round super lightweight contest. First, let's welcome from Doncaster, Yorkshire, England, undefeated with 14 wins.
I see it being a very action-packed fight. I feel like both guys are going to try and start fast and start early. Dubois, both guys are confident, but Dubois, you can see the confidence within him, what he's saying in fight week, and usually he's quite quiet. And I think he's getting confidence from the training, from this previous
Ladies
fights.
and gentlemen, our next 2 fighters to the scale, competing tomorrow in a
I was wrong before with Dubois and Hercules, but I feel like Josh has been gelling well.
First, we will welcome
he's showing good form,
from Leeds,
power,
Yorkshire,
and
England,
relationship is developing and growing.
with 13 wins, 6 beats, 1 draw with 8 wins. Coming on knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former 2-time world champion, Josh, the Leeds Warrior.
He did what fighters aren't supposed to do. He gave in. He broke down mentally. Then he did something that really is great, that is special, that is a very powerful thing. He found redemption.
Let's welcome
he went and redeemed himself against Miller and against Herzovich. And I've been saying he would have fought those fights for free. He didn't have to pay him. You know why?
With
In those
8
fights,
wins,
he was
coming
fighting
by
to
way
begin
of
himself. He was
knockout,
fighting
he
to
is
find out
the
who he
current
was. He was fighting
IBF
for his
World
soul.
Champion, and
A lot more than
tomorrow,
money.
the reigning
He
and
was fighting
defending
to look in the mirror
IBO Super
every day and
Featherweight
be able to
Champion
like what was
of the
looking back at
world.
him.
And,
I'm backing him
I
to beat
believe you
Dubois
live the life,
because of what
you do
Anthony
things right,
Joshua is to
stay
Wembley
consistent,
Stadium, to be
you do
honest.
your
I
best
feel like you can
all
have the
the time,
perfect gap
every
for
day.
2 or 3 months,
Great
right?
things will happen.
It's who has it
And
right
tomorrow night, I
mentally
believe a
on the
great
night
thing will happen, and
that
we'll
would
see
really
that arm
overcome
race once
and
again
control himself
world
better. I think
heavyweight champion.
Wembley Stadium is going to be too much for Dubois.
Can I get a free
I think
time?
it's going to be AJ's home.
And
And
Frank Thornley
given
won
the
your man
levels
Daniel
of
Dubois
experience
win
that
on
the
Saturday
difference
night at
between them,
Wembley
and
Stadium.
AJ's been there, done that, you know, and for Daniel Dubois to step up, to be there and do that, and do it at Wembley Stadium straight away, I mean, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher mentally.
So before fight week, I was leaning towards Daniel because I feel like AJ does get caught and he hasn't got the best of chins, and when he does get caught, he doesn't have the best recovery as well. And I feel like Daniel Dubois, he put Usyk down. You know, he stopped his last 2 fights that were elite fighters. So I feel like when he did catch AJ, I feel like he would have got him out of there. But now it's fight week, I've kind of switched leaning towards AJ because the last fight Daniel did get caught a lot in the early rounds.
I think AJ would have wanted Dubois to win, but I think AJ hasn't. Fury's going to beat Usyk, and there's going to be a third, and then the winner fights AJ. That's the big one.